Hi, welcome to my channel. I am Regina, and I am so glad you came to check us out today, see what we're talking about. We talk all things behind the scenes of your business, how we can elevate your business, how we can elevate you, how we can elevate your team so that you can be all that you want to be in your business as you help it grow. So today, I wanted to talk to you about how we unintentionally sabotage our businesses. Now, that's an area that we don't really talk about very often because a lot of people think that they're on track, that they're doing all the things they're supposed to do. They're doing the webinars, they're doing the workshops, they're doing all the things. Um, they're posting, they're doing all the things that we're supposed to do in the business. But then there are things that we do to unintentionally sabotage. Now, having worked behind the scenes, in a lot of businesses over the last several years, I have seen a lot of things that people do to unintentionally sabotage. While we think we're on track, we're the little things that kind of set us back. So today I want to talk about a few of them. The first one that strikes me that I want to talk about is the lack of setting daily goals, weekly goals, monthly goals, and strategies to help you get the job done that you need to do each day. It's difficult as it is already to accomplish all the things that we have to do as entrepreneurs. But what I have noticed is that quite a few people just jump in and they just start their day. If you don't have some delineated idea of what you're going to do each day, if you don't have a plan, if you go into your day just thinking, oh, I have so much to do, let me just jump in, that doesn't help you stay organized and get things done. So what I'm talking about is having a clear path to what you're going to do each day, think it out, map it out, and kind of know how many hours it takes to do each thing or how many minutes it takes to do each thing. If you're a service provider and you work for other people, what does that look like for you? So if you are in a coach, for example, if you coach somebody during the day and then you want to do the notes or do the follow-up, what does that look like? And if you go in your day not having a plan of how you're going to do that, oh, I'm going to see this one today, but how are you going to, what is the plan, I guess? What is the plan to accomplish in the rest of the day, the rest of your goal? Like, what are you doing? And these are the things that as an entrepreneur, we don't always think about because we think, okay, well, it's my day. I don't have to punch in a clock or I don't have to account to anybody except for myself. But what does that look like? And how are you staying organized? And how are you tracking what you do each day? And we sabotage ourselves oftentimes by not having a plan. We waste time by not having a plan. We eat up our day because we don't have a plan. We happen to look, and the next thing you know, it is time to, get off the clock to punch out to start doing something else. But then you look back at the end of the day and say, well, what did I do? I didn't accomplish anything. But we have a tendency to think that we can get so many things done. But then if you don't track it, if you don't, whatever that means for you, however you track, we talked before about a to-do list. We talked before about project management software. We talked before about keeping track of all the things that you need to do each day. And then however you do it, and and then check it out, but however you do it is your thing. But if you don't do something and do it consistently, then you're sabotaging yourself and you're sabotaging your day. Now, I've seen this happen with a lot of the people that I'm working with. Another area, probably one of the more glaring things I think that people try to do is they make unnecessary purchases. And then not just unnecessary purchases like supplies and whatnot. I'm not talking about that. I mean unnecessary or things that are necessary, but you're not ready for them types of purchases. So things like software and apps and things that you don't need yet because maybe your business hasn't grown to that point that you don't need it. Or you go online and you see a bunch of people talking about different apps and different programs and you just buy them because they look so impressive. When in reality, it's not what you need in your business. Now, there may come a time that you do need that in your business. And so when that time comes, that's when you should purchase it. So I see people who have several different project management softwares. I'm like, why do you need that one if you have this one? And because you wanted to try this one, or you wanted to try that, pick a thing, you know, research it, see if it's right for your business. And if it is, use it. But what I see is people that go out and just buy a bunch of things or they're doing what they saw someone else do. We sabotage ourselves and our finances by purchasing things that we just don't need. So whether it's an app, whether it is software, whether it is a product or something that just has absolutely nothing to do with what you're doing because it was cute. We go out and we buy those things. So be careful and mindful. You are using money that you don't have. You're using money that you need. And one of the things that I have done, because I have also bought software and different things that seemed right at the time, like I was going to use it. So the further I got into what I was working on, I was like, well, I don't really need that. Don't be afraid to cancel a subscription if you have it. And if you're not using it, cancel it because somebody might say, well, I paid the annual thing or oh, I'm doing the $10 a month, so it doesn't matter. But when you start to add up that $10 a month, and at the end of the year, it's $120 that you just didn't have. Well, doesn't the math right? Okay, anyway, it's a lot of money that you didn't have at the end of the year. It starts to add up. So cut out those subscriptions that you don't need. And it's okay. You got it and you didn't need it. You made the mistake and go ahead and cancel it. The other things that we do, whether it's a subscription or whether it's just the software that you bought, or whether it is something that you wanted to try and it didn't work, you entered a membership, this is not working for you. If that's not the right thing for you, don't be afraid to just say, okay, you know what, I don't need this. We sabotage our businesses, we sabotage our finances by making unnecessary purchases. So think about that. And as I'm saying this, think about in your business right now, do you have such a thing? Do you have things that you don't use? I'm just going to go out there and say that I bought an email marketing software. I could use the free version for the amount of times that I have been sending out the emails. So think about that too. If you can operate by using the free version until your business gets to a point where you need to purchase the beginner package, do that. Don't jump right in and start spending a bunch of money because we sabotage that way. And I'm thinking to myself, the better way to do it anyway is to try it out, use a free version, see if that's right for you. And if you like the tool, if you like the things that come with it, then go ahead and then purchase. So think about that. Don't allow yourself to just make unnecessary purchases. Another area that I think that I see very often, very, very often, is trying to prematurely hire teams when you're not ready for that. Now, as an entrepreneur, I will tell you first and foremost that as I started out my business, there are things that I didn't want to do. And I'm like, well, I wish I could hire somebody to do this or hire somebody to do that. No. There are times when you have to roll up your sleeves and do the work that you don't want to do, or teach yourself how to do the things that you don't know how to do because you cannot yet afford to pay for someone. All of us want to scale our teams. We want to scale for our businesses. We get excited because we want to grow. And with that growth means bringing on new members on your team to help do some things. But think about first, are you ready to do that? Do you have enough finances saved up in order to pay those individuals? And furthermore, his income coming in to help support you pay. So even if you have money saved up and you want to bring on a team, if you aren't bringing in money, you're just going to exhaust what you have saved up and you won't have money to continue to pay your team members. So before you jump into hiring team members, think long and hard, like, can my business afford this? Can I even afford this? What's going to happen if I don't bring in money next month? Will I be able to pay my team members? So that is something that you have to look at. And this is where, tracking your numbers, monitoring your finances, doing all those things. Can I afford even to hire a team? Am I ready? Am I ready? Am I receiving jobs that are so huge that I really need the support? Or am I receiving jobs that maybe I can do the work if I schedule my time, if I schedule my day, if I have a plan? Can I just knock all this work out? And believe me, when the time comes that I can scale my business, I'm excited about that, about being ready to do that. But realistically speaking, am I ready to do it? Do we have enough work coming in? Are we selling enough product? Are we doing enough in order to bring in another, just another responsibility, another person that you have to then pay? And then if you do bring in another person, should that person be part-time? Should that person be full-time? Should that person be paid as needed? Think about all those things. We sabotage our businesses by trying to grow so fast that we haven't thought about like the end result. Like, do you have money out, extended out? What does it mean if I can't pay my employee? or my team member. What does that mean for me and my business? So you don't want to start off by sabotaging. You don't want to give yourself a bad a name. So take your time, think it through, map it out, and see, am I ready to scale my business? Another way that I will say that I see big mistakes that people are making is through lack of clear communication with consumers. Now, if you sell a product, if you're selling a service, whatever it is you're doing, if you're coaching, I have seen people that the communication is so poor that the person on the other, they're not sure like what's going on. When I'm talking about that, as decisions are being made, are you communicating back and forth with the person that you're working with? If you cannot complete a project, are you communicating with the person that you own that deliverable to? If you sell a product and is running late or you don't have it in stock, are you communicating back to the people? You know, we talk a lot about word of mouth and, oh, my business is going because of word of mouth and this and that. And word of mouth can hurt you. It can also help you. It can also hurt you. So if you are somebody who chronically, if you're late with everything, if you're chronically, not sticking to what you say you're going to do, that word travels just as fast as how good you are with your job or your skill level. So people don't care how great you do things. They kind of care more. Are you going to deliver what you said you're going to deliver when you said you're going to deliver? Am I going to receive my product in the mail when you say it's going to come? Am I going to order, your jar of hair grease or your jar of hair oil or your jar of all these things you're bottling? Am I going to be waiting, like, I don't know, a month to get it? And if so, are you communicating back and forth with the consumer? We have a delay. Your product will be here soon. Make sure you do these things because these are the things that we sabotage because we're not communicating back and forth. And we think that, oh, I'm doing everything right and I have all the orders coming in. But if you aren't following up and doing the things that you said you were going to do, that is immediate sabotage of your own business. So think about it for a minute, and I'm gonna stop at those four. But think about it for a minute of all the things that we do in our businesses to help us grow. But we get excited because we're doing all the things the right way. But think about it in your head for a minute. Am I doing any of these things? Am I sabotaging, even in the smallest ways? I'm not saying that all of these things might be you, but is any of this you? Are you sabotaging yourself by not following up? Are you sabotaging yourself by trying to grow too fast? Are you sabotaging yourself by not having a daily routine that you can kind of stick to? And are you sabotaging yourself because you think that you need all of the things in order to do what you need to do? But think about each one of these things and think, is any of this me? And if it is, what can I do to improve? How can I flip some things around? And even if you don't need to change the things, is there anything on this list that you can do better? So as we go on in our business, as we continue to try to grow, it's important that as we're trying to do all the good things, make sure that, kind of like in the background, that you're not sabotaging yourself. So those are the things I wanted to talk to you about today, because these are the things that I see when I'm working with people behind the scenes in their business. So check them out, review this list. If you like what I shared today, be sure to share it with somebody else. Like this video and follow. And again, I am so glad you joined me, and have a fantastic day.